Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor. And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Oh, this wind we're having in the San Antonio area anyway. Not that, some of you listen abroad, but if you live here in the greater San Antonio area where we do this show, the wind is a massive ass whip if you've been outside. My God, last night I had to get in the car and drive home, and I got an old 20-year-old big hunk of metal that's pretty heavy. But dang, man, I'm glad I wasn't in a little tiny ass car. Imagine being a motorcycle driving around in this wind we have going on right now. This wind is a massive ass whip. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. What is whipping yours and why? Me llamo Miguelito Antonito Taylor. It is MT Live. You can subscribe to this thing for free. Many of you did yesterday for sure, and into the night. You can also sign up to become a member. All of our members-only exclusive material goes right to you only. And to become a member, it's only $6 a month. Coffees at Starbucks cost more than that in a day, and we're only asking for $6 a month. But become a subscriber for free. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. And before I get into my other ass whip, which is also traffic-related, how about Thunderdome, man? Yesterday I came on this show and announced to all of Thunderdome that my Valentine's Day was in jeopardy. I was threatened that if I have a mullet on Valentine's Day, then there would be no Valentine's Day, which is fine with me. But, it wouldn't be fine with your lady. So I can't have a mullet on Valentine's Day, which one could argue is simply a made-up holiday to increase the economy in the first fiscal portion of the year. But who am I, I like Valentine's Day just fine. And I was told by the lady I live with, the brown skin beauty queen, that I would not have a Valentine's Day if I had a mullet. In Thunderdome, I love you hard. God, I love you hard. That's the name of I named our channel Love You Hard after Thunderdome because I love you hard for supporting this show all these years in whatever form we've done it in. And we needed to get to 3,000 subscribers, and I vowed that I would get the mullet. And LG, who's back in KDJLG Studios, I'm emanating from my little shanty town apartment here, but Once we got to 3,000, then we were going to go get the Marbach mop, the Marbach miracle, the Marbach, whatever you want to call it, the Edgar. And I was going to get the Mike Gundy mullet. I'm going to get the Quinn Ewers hair. That's why I've let this thing grow out. It looks goofy, but I'm saving up for the mullet. So how many short were we when we went on the air yesterday, LG? Like 29, something like that?
Probably about like 20, 29.
Something,
30.
at least 20 something, right at 30. And I thought, well, maybe we'll get to that by the end of the week. How about Thunderdome stepping up? We had well over 100 people become a subscriber yesterday. And oh my God, we've had over 150 new subscribers since we got off the air yesterday, which is badass. Thank God. Thank you so much. I came on here, begged you to become a subscriber. It's totally free to become a subscriber. Now, the membership's $6. I mean, it's just $6, but the subscribers, y'all are on here for free.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be a subscriber to watch us, but it makes us look good with, advertisers and YouTube and stuff. The more subscribers we have, it's easy. You just click subscribe and off you go, and it's free. And came on here yesterday and begged you, like Jerry Lewis in a telethon, begging you for a subscription. And we have over 150 people or something like that signed up since yesterday. Thank you, Thunderdome, for the warm-hearted rejoinder. My Valentine's Day is saved. However, that means, sir, that you and I need to go get our haircuts real quick. Because I got to.
You said you had a barber, right?
I do. I have. I've got somebody already picked out. Yeah. You and I need to figure out the day. All right. Let me pull my phone out here. So, all right, Thunderdome, you're going to watch a production meeting on the air here real quick, which is fine. All right, so today's the 9th. Now, I have a quick announcement here for Thunderdome. Next week, because we've not had one. Told me. We've not had one since I went rogue and went off on my own and started doing this particular form of broadcasting last summer. We've not had any downtime. I've not had any vacation whatsoever because I've been so busy hustling and trying to keep this damn little show afloat. And I feel like next week that, and LG's been trying to stay busy with several side hustles. And I've been hustling at the liquor store and doing what little I can to save as many pennies as I can here in this weird experiment we've decided to do. Anyway, but we've not given ourselves any days off. So I think next week we need to take some days off because I am worn out big time. I know. Oh, you worn out from your 45-minute podcast? Well, yeah. I mean, God forbid I take my lady out of town for 2 days and do something fun. So, I'd like to see my kid up in Fort Worth a little bit. I haven't seen. Let's see. The 22-year-old came down and spent 2 days for Christmas because they had to get back up there for work. Geechee SA donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Thank you, Geechee. Thank you, Holmes. Keep the good times rolling, Mullet Brothers. Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm meandering here. We're going to take some days off next week, so just be advised of that. I'm sure that maybe LG will post a few things, maybe some old shows or an old bit or something we've already done, Bull Shack or some shit we've done, some doing things or a sit down or something next week while we're away. But we need some time off. LG's got lots of stuff coming up too. But anyway, we got to get these haircuts. And I got to make sure because we're going to have our haircuts for a full week. That's the bit. Once we got to 3,000, we're going to go get the haircuts, and we got to wear them for at least a week. Although I might like my damn mullet so much, I might just keep that sumbitch if I love the way it looks. But we got to have it done, Holmes, by Valentine's Day. So we're over a month away. I'm thinking. So I don't know if you have any plans to go out of town next week, dude.
Well, technically, you got to have it done by the 7th. Or the 6th, so you can have it removed by Valentine's Day.
The week's got to be
for
over.
a week.
Yeah. I think I want to get this over with. I think I want to go get my hair cut next week.
Okay, I'll try to
Wednesday
find time.
or Thursday. Yeah, Are you going to leave the state? You going to leave the country for the whole week? You got
no, I can't.
3
leave the country.
Taiwan.
I got
Taiwan-based whores waiting on you. All right.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Not going anywhere. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
UTSA basketball season is
Okay,
starting
cool.
up. Yeah.
All right. I know you had that old gal you had in Bali that loved to ride around the city with
Jakarta.
you on motorcycle. Oh yeah, sorry, Jakarta. And I know you had those two gals that in Casablanca or wherever the hell you went in Africa. Was that Casablanca or what town was that?
Tangier.
Oh, Tangier. Sorry, I get my whore towns of LG mixed up.
That was an awful experience, by the way.
The Tangier. Well,
Yeah. Tangier's not,
how
they're not
how
American friendly.
how clean are the women in Tangier?
I don't know. They're covered up. You can't tell.
Yeah, but not when you get a hold of them. Unless you're
not
like
that time. Not
just
that
pulling up the robe.
Dude, when I got there, it was the most seasick I had ever been. I took the ferry across the Strait of Gibraltar,
Oh God!
and it was the worst seas I've ever experienced in my life. And I literally smelled like throw up, so I'm sure the women weren't really into me.
So you did puke on the journey from the southern tip of Spain into Africa?
90% of the passengers did. It was the most. I wish I was rolling. I was too sick to roll on it, but it was literally everywhere there was for someone to throw up on the ferry. There was someone throwing up. Every sink, every stall, every trash can, everywhere you could do it overboard. It was ridiculous.
I could just see you like, oh God, just have an orca just sink our ship. I need to die. Something like that.
And it was only a 30-minute ferry ride.
Yeah, dude. I did an hour and a half thing on a little skiff once, like a jackass, because I was trying to recreate what our American soldiers did on D-Day. I took a little boat from southern England to the northern tip of France across the English Channel. That was I didn't hurl, but everybody else
of Normandy.
Yeah, by vomiting on them.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I've been there. So anyway,
so I did the same thing on the beaches of Morocco.
Okay, so we haven't had any time off. Is the long way of saying. That's the long way of saying we need a few
technically
days off.
You did go to Hawaii in December.
Well,
I took some time off.
Well, I still did Cowboy Post Game, didn't I?
You did one show.
I didn't completely crap on the listener.
Yeah.
Right. Next week we're going to take a few days off. We're going to go dark next week for a few days. We can do stuff, but we need to get the haircut bit. I don't want to be completely out of mind and out of sight. Why don't I arrange for us to have our haircuts at some point next week? And then the week will maybe we do it Wednesday, and then we'll get them cut the following Wednesday.
Okay.
Be a good bit. We can film it. We can post it. That'll be our show next week, haircut week, and while we take a few days off. All right. Or LG and I will work out the date, and we'll let Thunderdome know. Just once again,
cool. Nice
thanks,
production
everybody.
meeting. Yes.
Thank you, everybody, so much. That subscribed yesterday. Thanks to all the people who have subscribed to this show. And we goof around and act stupid about it, but it means the world to me that I have the capability of doing a little this show is like a little skiff out in water, just bouncing up and down, bailing water, trying to keep shit from getting on the deck, trying to keep the toilet from stopping up, trying to keep people from puking. Our show scene reminds me of a bouncing boat. But we've not sank. No orcas have rammed us. We're good. I would like to put some paint on this show at some point. Maybe fix some of the udders. The starboard side could use a touch up, but we're still at sea. We're still at sea. We're still afloat. And we're still rolling. Fingers crossed. And massive amount of that is because of y'all and our partners over these last 7-8 months. We've been doing this. Muchas gracias. Thank you we're at 3,000, and now the countdown to 4,000 subscribers is on. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. It is Mike Taylor Live. I got another one real quick. I don't know if you have one or not, but I got another one I'm going to get off my chest. I don't know if it's just bad timing, or I've just noticed it more, or it's just coincidentally happened more. But it seems a lot lately that it's like once a week for the last couple of months, at least once a week. And I guess maybe I'm out at night more now because I've been working at the liquor store. So I'm driving home after they close. I see, without a week going by, at least once I see somebody on the freeway or out driving around on our highways here in town with no headlights on. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just me. I am ass whipped cruising up I-10, somewhere heading west out of town, and some car will come up and it's, 8:30 at night and they don't have their freaking headlights turned on. I've noticed this more than ever. Am I all by myself in this? Why the fuck would you not turn your headlights on after dark? I'm not talking about at dusk. Oh, the sun's going down. I forgot. Let me flip on. I'm talking
It
about like
probably
8,
don't
8
work,
o'clock.
dude. Like,
Well,
they
you
probably
don't drive.
well, it's not going to help that we no longer need inspections. So
I know, but
it's going to get
but it's not
worse.
legal. We don't have not like we don't have enough police officers in this town they don't have time to, pull over somebody with no lights on, I guess. But I
Yeah,
see it once a week.
unless you're Castle Hills.
It's that's because they get paid to pull people over all day. Those little tiny little sections like Balcones Heights and that shit.
Yeah.
I have seen. I don't know if maybe it's just coincidental. It's not a thing. I keep seeing people with no effing headlights on, and it's so dangerous and dumb, and it pisses me off. All right, what's anything whipping your ass today, and why?
Yeah.
What?
Getting old is whipping my ass. I know it's like a cliche to say, like, when you turn a certain age, like, your knees start to hurt. You all of a sudden feel these different pains.
Dude, Viagra.
No. There's no issues there.
No.
It's here in the gastro area. I can't eat the same I used to. I have to watch what I eat and when I eat a lot more now that I've become a man because I'm 40.
Yeah, now you're a man at 40.
But I've noticed I can handle. I used to be able to handle spicy foods like crazy. Like now I just I didn't even know what heartburn was, before the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And now I know exactly what it is. And acid reflux, those were words I never uttered in my life before the last 2 years.
What have you eating? Like hot ass ramen soup and shit like that?
Oh yeah, I eat all kinds of shit
and all
like
this
that.
kind of shit.
Yeah. Fried rice with just dump hot oil all over it,
Yeah, I cannot eat. I don't eat fried rice very often. If I'm in a room and it's being served up, I will, but I don't by choice order it because it gives me heartburn.
Well, even
or
regular rice, I just go for the
Tums.
spiciest things ever.
Yeah,
so I'm always
dude.
what level spice, whatever's the top, But now I regret
It's
it.
a sign that you're slowly dying.
Yeah.
Welcome to middle age.
My factories aren't working like they used to be, but it's an ass whip,
Dude.
because I enjoy food. That's one of the greatest things in life is,
I know.
enjoying different types of food from different cultures, and that involves a lot of different spices. That's for sure.
Wait till you're a year from 50. So this morning,
See,
because
every 10 years, it's a different.
I had real bad irregularity issues there for a while. I'm like, fuck, do I have colon cancer or something? Which, by the way, this year I've decided enough's enough. I'm going to have to go get a colonoscopy. I've been fighting it. This is going to be colonoscopy tailored 2K24 at some point this year. I was going to get one a couple of years ago and pussed out. I can't do that anymore. So this morning, I'll stay regular, right? And I'll stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a bowl of Fiber One cereal, which is basically hamster food,
I know. Yeah.
with with a handful of blueberries thrown on top, with low fat milk, preferably skim milk if I can get a hold of it. Or I drink Lactaid. It has no lactose in it. I probably shouldn't even be drinking dairy, honestly.
I've eliminated milk basically. I still do dairy, like cheese and yogurt.
Probably
and
a good move.
Butter.
So I had a little bit of Fiber One with some blueberries, and then I chased that with some non-fat Greek yogurt with a spoonful of honey on it.
God, you're
with 10 almonds. That's what I've had today. Fiber One, blueberries, almonds, yogurt, and a spoonful of honey. Very bougie, but I cannot stand to have that bloated feeling. Being bloated, it sucks. And it's gotten to the point where I just can't fart all the bloat away. Like normally when I was younger, I'd get bloated on, drink too much beer, just fart a bunch. Now, okay, cool, back to that flat belly again. Now, dude, it lingers. And you don't want to be having
I've eliminated
Tums every day.
I've pretty much eliminated most alcohol from my life.
You have, dude. I've noticed that.
And I thought I would like lose weight, but it's like the opposite. I'm gaining weight too.
Well, you're replacing that booze with fried rice and bullshit.
Yes.
So what are you going to get, an O'Doul's at the Ringer this week? It's a playoff game.
No, I mean I still like I'll have like a beer here or there, or like a glass of wine with my meal, but like I'm not getting tanked anymore. Like I'm not going to the bar and having, 15 beers and then going home,
Right. Yeah, those days are done.
Well,
I've actually started to drink more liquor, vodka.
I haven't had
tequila.
a sip of alcohol since that shot we took of that coconut alcohol on the members only thing the other day.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, not one.
That's pretty good. And before that, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks before that.
Yeah, I can't even remember before that.
Damn, dude.
No, it was New Year's.
Okay.
Before that, yeah.
I still drink. I like to drink, but what I have done is I've quit drinking as much, right? It starts catching up to you. It does. If you want to stay in decent shape, and I'm a big believer in. I move as much as I can. We hike. I go to we have a little gym here in our little condo plex we live in. I try to get down there at least 3 days a week and lift weights. I can't lift heavy weights. I've never been able to lift heavy weights with these fucking toothpicks. But
yeah, those small hands.
Yeah, well, I can. Well, yeah. Well, you're right. But for years I would lift, and I've never been a big lifter. But Doc Garrett gave me a cool plan to use, and so 3 days a week I would go to lift heavy weight. This year I've decided, like the last 3-4 months, I don't lift like the heavy shit. I lift lighter stuff, but I do more of it. So lighter weight, more reps for tone. And I'm also a big believer, now that we're going to have a health show, apparently, I'm a big believer in Tom Brady's method. Tom wrote a book about how the fuck are you doing that at 45 years old? He's less on weight. Now, you still need to lift some weights. You have to keep your testosterone, because your testosterone plummets in middle age too. Some weights, but really focus on cardio and elasticity. Stay loose, stretch. I stretch a lot. I stretch every day, because as you get older, your bones just start to, all your tendons and your I don't know, your vesicles, all your things in your body just start to just kind of form to each other. And we're like a car. I mean, we depreciate every day as a human, as a body. And the most important thing you can do at this age is to stay elastic. And Brady's big on like those stretch bands and stretching and shit. And I mean, look how good he looks since he retired. He lost weight, but he almost looks too thin. But he's just actually in incredible shape. Anyhow, I support you in your newfound realization that health needs to take a front seat now. I support you hard.
I don't want to give up any kind of food. I like it all.
Well, again, you can as long as you're doing all that, you're staying loose and working out and stay active, and find a way to get that big fucking 50-pound camera off your shoulder every day that's going to give you arthritis. You can eat what you want in portion size. Portion size. Yeah. Small portions, not a bucket of fried rice, a helping of it.
And
with
timing too. No late night
and
meals
timing.
anymore.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so there's that. Thank you for indulging. So it's a production meeting followed by a health seminar. D'Angelo, $9.99. Thank you, homeboy. Quote, stop drinking alcohol and smoking weed last year, eliminating all nasty food this year, focusing on jiu-jitsu and running. Wow. Wait, you quit drinking booze and smoking pot? You're just a madman. I ain't doing that shit. See, I want to be able to stay in decent shape, yet keep all of my vices. So it's like, and I've asked Doc Garrett about that. I don't ever want to, I don't think, and smoking ain't bad for you unless, D'Angelo, were you like smoking all day? Smoking's not bad for you. I mean, I guess it's bad for your lungs and shit, but I don't smoke all day. I smoke, once a night, and it's one
smoking reefers?
It's 1 or 2 bong rips, and that's it, just to help me go to bed. Or a gummy here and there. It's 1 glass of wine, not 3. I used to have a beer, at dinner, then another one for funsies, and then maybe a nightcap before you go to sleep. I quit doing that shit too. So I want to be able to do all of my stuff that I like to do in moderation. Trying to balance that, and it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. All right, a lot of y'all reached out yesterday, and I appreciate this. The explosion in Fort Worth. Did you see that, LG? The downtown Fort Worth massive hotel explosion yesterday?
No.
Yeah. Well, bear with me if y'all know this news item. Apparently, LG didn't notice it because LG's never on. He's never on Twitter anymore. He doesn't go to social media hardly. So yesterday, there was a massive hotel explosion in downtown Fort Worth. Let me pull up some of the details here. My 22-year-old, and thank y'all for asking, because most of y'all know that basically all of my family
I got 4 kids to feed.
Lives in Fort Worth. And I highly appreciate those that reached out. My 22-year-old lives less than a mile from the explosion. I don't know if anyone has been killed. Dozens went to the hospital. So LG, what they're thinking happened was, so they were doing some construction on a 100-year-plus old hotel, and there was a gas leak somehow. The construction may have, and this is all speculative right now. They're guessing that something with the construction. Hey, Holmes, you tripped that wire. It's fine. Someone fucked up.
Excuse me, Holmes?
A gas leak was caused, and it led to a midday massive explosion. The entire front lobby of the hotel just went whoosh, all out. And boom goes the dynamite. Boom, all out in the street. So just look up, go to Twitter or go to Google and check out Fort Worth explosion. That damage is amazing. It's incredible that no one got killed, but although dozens did go to the hospital with various injuries, most of them were listed in quote many critical. So I don't think anyone's going to get killed or wind up dying as a result. But there was a lot of people that got beaten up, and they quickly ruled out terror. But it was bad, and it was so. And I appreciate all of y'all that reached out that know that I've got so many family up there. I appreciate that. As far as I know, no one that I even know or connected to was involved. I've never even stepped foot in that hotel. That's a very historical hotel. It's called the Sandman Hotel, but it used to be called the Wagon. It was the old Wagoner Hotel. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to give you too much Fort Worth history, but I've never stepped foot in that place. But it's very historical. It's been there for 100 years. It's the old Sandman Hotel. It used to be called the Wagoner. There was in the late 1800s, early 20th century, one of the most richest men in the world was a guy called William Wagner, Fort Worth guy. Oil, typical Texan shit back in those days. Oil, gas, cattle. He was a rancher. He had a massive ranch called the Wagoner Ranch. It was one of the biggest ranches in the world. And he turned into the equivalent of a billionaire for those times. And they wound up building a hotel in downtown Fort Worth called the Wagoner in like 1920 something or whatever. And that building, I believe, is on the National Register for Historic Places. And he had a bunch of kids, Mr. Wagner. One of his sons, and I'll try to make this relate to Thunderdumbers that don't give a shit about Fort Worth history, but he had a bunch of kids. One of his sons is named Guy Wagner. Guy liked to get married. One of the descendants of that hotel, Guy Wagner, was married 8 times in the course of his life. And he died like at 65. He spent his entire life married. He was married to 8 different women. One of the women that the son, Guy, was married to was a woman by the name of Anne Burnett. I'll make this relate to Yellowstone fans. Anne Burnett was the heiress of the 4 Sixes Ranch in West Texas. The 4 Sixes is a big player on Yellowstone, but I know LG's never watched it. And so she had a tie to Fort Worth because she married Mr. Wagner's son. He had another daughter named Electra. You ever heard of the town Electra, Texas, LG? I bet you've not. You're not good with your North Texas geography. There's a little town in far North Texas, damn near to the Oklahoma border, called Electra. It was named after Mr. Wagner's daughter, Electra. She wound up marrying, they were all, elite rich people at this point because they're daddy. She wound up marrying into the Wharton family, the East Coast billionaires. You ever heard of the Wharton Business School in Philadelphia?
No.
Where Donald Trump went to the Wharton School. That's where she wound up going. And she married the founder's son of the Wharton Business School, and just billionaire shit. Anyway, that's some quick history on that old building, but it blew to shit yesterday, that whole bottom lobby. And it looked bad. I can't believe no one got killed. I saw a video of a guy sitting on a curb, and his wife was like hugging him. They're laying down on the street, and she's like comforting him. She's just probably in shock, and his face is just covered in blood. He was just cut all up. Hell of a scene. And yeah, so that's I saw that. But as far as I know, thank God, no one that I actually know or connected to was directly involved in that. Donnie on the north side's in here 8 times. Holy shit! I thought people weren't allowed to get divorced in those days. Hey, if you're a millionaire, maybe you just kept hooking up with women that wouldn't eat fish, Donnie. You had to find one that would eat fish, because you cannot trust a woman that will not eat fish. All right, let's get into a couple of items from last night, sports items and shit today. It's Ass Whip Tuesday. We chilling. My boy Big Mike Penix's energy. Oh, man. I picked Washington in a hard fart game. I decided that I bet on the Washington offense to penetrate that Michigan defense just enough to win a hard fart game, and I was wrong. How about Michigan, man? So Big Penix energy got outdone by that big Michigan D. That Michigan D was too long, too thick, and full of stamina. That Michigan defense is sublime, man. So credit the Wolverine. They beat the shit out of Washington last night. Jim Harbaugh, man, suspended the first 3 games of the season for cheating. Suspended another 3 games later in the year for cheating. That dude wound up being suspended 2 different times this season, and for a total of 6 different games. And what does he do? He wins the motherfucking natty. You talk about diabolical gangster shit. He dresses like an old man. He's a massive dork. He's extremely awkward in public. You almost think he might be on the spectrum, and all he ever does is win. Those fucking Harbaugh brothers are winning some bitches. They're sons of the legendary high school coach Jack Harbaugh. So Jim's a national champion with Michigan. And here in 5 weeks, hell, John might be the head coach of the Super Bowl champion Ravens. And hats off, I was wrong, man. So everybody's wondering what Jim's going to do now. Is he going to stay at Michigan? Is he going to go back to the NFL? He can be a dictator in college. Does he want to go back to the egalitarian society that is the NFL, where the players have more power than the coach? I don't know. But I can tell you this, whatever hell he wants to do, he'll be able to fill out the blank check, because whatever Jim Harbaugh does, who gives a shit if he's weird? Who gives a shit if he cheats? Who gives a shit if he wears pleated pants? Who cares if he's awkward and won't dye those yellow-ass teeth even though he's a millionaire? All he ever does is win. And for you, if you want to win, then you want Jim Harbaugh being your coach, because that's all he's ever done. And as long as he stays decently healthy, all he'll ever do is win. Damn, that thing, they were just too much. And that was a good Washington team that got shut down and kept 13 points last night. A lot of Longhorn fans were pissed off. Why didn't we run the ball like that against Washington? Michigan broke the all-time national championship record in the modern times with 300-plus yards rushing. Texas didn't try to run the ball much. Now, granted, Michigan has 2 badass runners. Michigan has 2 running backs that'll both play in the NFL. Texas did not run the ball as much as they probably should have against Washington, and it's got Longhorn fans wondering, in hindsight, why the hell didn't we do that? That makes about as much sense as a trapdoor on a kayak not running the ball. Why didn't we run the ball? We would have won. And maybe Texas was a better matchup against Michigan, but we'll never know. Michigan is the national champion, so now we'll see what Harbaugh does. All right. We got a kettle payoff I got to do here, dude. I got like 2. I think we're down to 2 more.
No one told me.
We'll do one now, and we'll do one tomorrow, and that should be it for kettle payoff. I didn't want to wait till like mid-February to finally finish off red kettle payoffs. This will be an easy one. This will be fun. Maybe if you have a little production value, that might be good. We need to get some more production value on this show. What happened to the hard dick dirty dogs or whatever? I thought they were going to give us some tunage. What happened to that? It's still in the works?
Yeah, we got to select something.
All right. I don't think that's the name of their band, but I got it close. Dirty Dog Dick Eaters? Is that right?
Yeah, D3E.
D3E. Okay. What I need to get? Okay. I need to remember three D3E. All right. So this is for longtime Thunderdomer Nathan. So Nathan writes, like you, I am a supporter of the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Grew up a Miami Dolphins fan and then became a huge Cowboys fan as well. And so I have been a Dallas/Miami fan for years, and it would be my dream to have those two play in the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to get that this year. But you never know because we talk about the NFL. Anyhow, by the way, thank you to Robert Godina, 1971. Roberto Godina, my bad. Just became a member. Best $6 you'll ever spend, Holmes. By the way, hint, hint, wink, wink, we have massive plans for members-only content coming up, but we'll get to that. All right. So he wants me to talk about the Super Bowl histories of the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Now, for the sake of time, because I could do 3 hours on the 5 Cowboys championships. For the sake of time, Nathan, if you'll forgive me, I'm going to touch on a couple of Super Bowl runs. So as we all know, the Cowboys, who have the 2 seed going into Sunday's game with the Packers, which will have Overreact presented by the law office of Orlando Kell live from the Ringer Pub Sunday night after the game. So come hang out with us and watch us do Overreact Sunday. The Cowboys have not sniffed a Super Bowl since 1995. So for you, Nathan, I want to touch on that one. That is the very hard-fought victory over the Steelers in Tempe, Arizona, in which TCU's own Larry Brown wound up being the MVP with the 2 interceptions off of Neil O'Donnell. Y'all remember him. And the Cowboys escaped by their chinny chin chins and won the 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years, with Barry Switzer standing there staring at airplanes fly by as the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. That was the only time, and remains the only time, in which a team won a championship in spite or despite who the head coach was. And in that case, it was the ridiculous, had no business being there, Barry Switzer. He's eating fucking hot dogs during the game. Had there been Twitter, you just showed Switzer in those days, he'd have been scrolling like this during games. Aikman hated him, and they won. They were so talented because of Jimmy that they wound up winning the championship anyway and squeaked by the Steelers, even though they had no head coach. And one of the things I remember from that game is I remember one of the Steelers, I forget who it was, they had a big white boy tight end on that team. So one of y'all will tell me who that was. I forgot. I think he's dead. They had a really good tight end on that Steelers team. I think he was saying that, like on media day that week, I think he had said something like, I feel like we're going to win this game because we're focused and Dallas is not. They're a bunch of prima donnas. They're a bunch of superstars. They're a bunch of celebrities. We ride a bus to the game. They all take individual limousines to practice because they had noticed that a lot of the Cowboys players in those days, that week in Tempe, they would ride their own personal limousine to practice getting ready for the game. And one of those Steelers was like, yeah, they just don't seem like they're focused. We're super focused. We're a team. We stay together. We ride on the same bus to practice, and the Cowboys are all riding in limos. And so after the game, when the Cowboys won, it was Dion. How about Roberto just bought 10 coffees? Thank you, Holmes. 10 coffees. That's good. That's a lot of caffeine. I appreciate you. So Dion, after the game, was asked about, that dude said that y'all weren't focused. And Dion goes, reason we won the game is because we're superstars. We don't need to take a bus. We ride the limousine to the game. Dion was saying we won the game because we ride the limousine. It turned it around on that dude. It was badass. That was the apex of White House and buffoonery and bullshit. But the Cowboys were so talented that all that bullshit had no impact. They still won the title. And unfortunately, it's been 30 years of Cowboys teams, for the most part, that all thought that they were celebrities and superstars and bad fathermuckers when they didn't have the talent. They wanted to act like Dion, but they didn't play like Dion, which is why it's been 30 effing years since the Cowboys went to the title game. He wanted me to talk about the Dolphins, too, for a quick minute. You know, I don't. The Dolphins have won 2 Super Bowls. And, of course, everybody remembers the 1972 Super Bowl. That Dolphins team that Big Mike hated. The Cowboys at that time were on the cusp of becoming America's team. But that Dolphins team in 72 that went undefeated and remains the only team to ever run the table and win the Super Bowl. Y'all, and that Dolphins, a bunch of those guys like all get a sports hernia every year. Like, Philadelphia's 11-0. Are they going to do what the Dolphins did? Or the Patriots are 17-0 or 16-0. And a lot of there's this myth that every time the last undefeated team loses, all those old Dolphins that are still alive from that 72 team all have a big get-together. That's not actually true. A couple of them will tweet stuff, and a couple of them live in the same neighborhood in Miami, so they'll get together and celebrate, like 2 of them. But, not all of them. Every surviving member of the Dolphins doesn't get together. That's a myth. That's a total myth. That was a damn good team, that Dolphins team in 72, obviously. There were 4 All-Pros on that team. You baby boomers will love this. That Dolphins team had 9 Pro Bowlers when the Pro Bowl actually mattered, and 4 All-Pros. The 4 All-Pros were the former Cowboys backup, Earl Morrall, the great strong safety, Dick Anderson, the All-Pro guard, Larry Little. Larry Little. I want to see Little and Dick Anderson in the box score together. And the defensive end, Bill Stanfield. That team also had Nick Bonaconte at middle linebacker, Larry Zonka at fullback, Mercury Morris at running back. And the future Hall of Famer, the great Paul Warfield at wide receiver. That team actually lost their starting quarterback. Earl Morrall was the backup to the great Bob Greasy. But Bob destroyed his ankle midway through the season, as I recall. Earl Morrall took over for the rest of the season, kept the team undefeated. Then Morrall got hurt in the AFC Championship game, and Greasy wound up starting in the Super Bowl after not playing for 2 months, and they still won. No matter who played quarterback, that team was so good. Anyhow, so I wasn't going to sit up here and do 45 minutes on the Dolphins, but that's for you, Nathan. He wanted to talk Cowboys and Dolphins, so we did. Is it possible this year we get a Cowboys-Dolphins Super Bowl? It's possible. And I can't believe I'm going to say this with a straight face. I actually trust the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl this year more than I do the Dolphins. The Dolphins still can't beat anybody on the road worth of shit. Cowboys haven't either. But the Cowboys won't have to go on the road in the playoffs unless it's in the NFC Championship game and against San Francisco. Otherwise, the Cowboys have home games. Miami has to start on the road. And I love their coach. Looks like a 25-year-old frat rat in some business. He looks like he goes to the Wharton Business School. I like the Dolphins. I like Tua. I can't trust them at all. I don't know if the Dolphins get out of the first round. So there's that. That's for you, Nathan. Thank you, Holmes, for your input. And donating to the kettle this year. I'd love to see a Cowboys-Dolphins Super Bowl because it would mean that the Cowboys were in the damn thing for the first time in 30 years. All right, show brought to you by the great Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of Thunderdome and this show. Texas Cheer has 9 locations all over the city, so it does not matter where you live. There's going to be one where you are, close anyway. So look them up. There's 9 spots scattered all about the city. It is Texas Cheer Liquor, and we got a massive playoff game coming up Sunday. So, and can't buy no liquor on Sunday, not in this damn state. So make sure you get in there and get your booze on for the game on Sunday. If you don't plan to come out and drink with us at the Ringer on Sunday, you're going to watch it at home or somewhere else, and get your booty to Texas Cheer and load up on stuff this week in case you're getting low and get ready for the big Cowboys playoff game. Now, LG said that he was drinking less this week. All right, LG, thank you. Now, this is for you, Holmes. I said he's drinking less this week. He's been drinking less in his life. So LG's trying to cut down on booze. And a lot of y'all are in what's called, a lot of y'all take January off, which is funny because it's the middle of the NFL playoffs. What's good on you. A lot of people like quit drinking for the first month of the year to kind of clean out their system. Well, that's cool. They celebrate dry January at Texas Cheer Liquor too. You ever heard of Kentucky 74?
No.
It's alcohol-free whiskey. They've got it at Texas Cheer. They've got something called Ritual. It's a rum alternative. It tastes like rum, but it's 0 proof, no alcohol. There's alcohol-free tequila now. Jalisco 55. It's called Spiritless. Spiritless Jalisco 55 is alcohol-free tequila. There's alcohol-free Sauvignon Blanc. It's called Gießen. It's out of New Zealand. Gießen also makes a red wine that's premium. It's premium red, and it's been de-alcoholized. And Stella Rose liqueur, they make an alcohol-free liqueur. It's called Naturals. Stella Rose Naturals. They have non-alcoholic peach. So LG, if you want the flavor but none of the booze, Texas Cheer Liquor's got tons of alcohol-free booze for y'all that still want that flavor but want to take the month off. All right. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. What is whipping your ass and why? We want to hear from as many Thunderdomers as we can. Victor's in here. Both of my cars deciding to take a dump this week. That ain't no bueno. By the way, I don't want to get too heavy into this story. It's not over yet. So my daughter, my 25-year-old, went to one of these little cheaper places for young kids that don't have much credit. You know, she had $2,000 to put down trying to get a used car. They called me on the phone trying to get me to co-sign. I'm like, put my daughter on the phone. Like, what you need daddy's help? Yeah, but they say that if you co-sign, then it'll only be 3 months. I'm like, because I ain't co-signing on no car long term. So I talked to the dude, and he's like, yeah, no, we have a deal where if you'll just co-sign the first 3 months, after 90 days, we take you off the note. I'm like, well, all right. Well, how much we talking here? $21,000 2-year-old car. Get the fuck out of here, man. What are the payments? This is with me co-signing. They're like, the payments would have been like $521. Like, get the fuck out. I told this girl to go get a used car. Go get just some beater. She basically just goes from home to work. She doesn't really go a lot of places in her car. Just go get you a little used beater and don't worry about the condition. You don't need something cute. You need something reliable that's cheap. You ain't rich. Daddy ain't either. Not anymore. And so I'm like, okay, if I co-sign, it's going $521 a month and 21% interest. Get the fuck out. No, absolutely not. I told her to get the hell out of there somehow. But check this out, dude. And I don't want to out these people yet because I'm trying to get this resolved today. Because I was on the phone. I wasn't there with her. She was alone. They kept texting me and calling me. For some reason, this car place took her money that she was going to put down without a deal. And she left freaking out because they took the money. And by the time when she went over there to tell them, hey, y'all took my money, but I didn't do a deal.
Where's my money, bitch?
The business office had closed. And I got pissed off. And I got pretty pissed last night. I'm like, I'm going to call over there and tell them who I am. I didn't do that. But I got mad for a minute. And so I had the cell phone number of the salesman she dealt with, and he was like, oh, I'm not there right now. I've already gone home. Motherfucker, they took this girl's money, dude, without a car. What are you doing taking her money? I have not agreed to co-sign nothing. Nothing. So here in a minute, I'm going to make a call on her behalf. I'm going to help her because she's my kid. I'm going to say, look, this kid gave y'all $2,000. You need to refund that shit right fucking now. And there better not be a fee, nothing. And if they don't happen, we're going to be doing a segment tomorrow, and I'm going to be telling the world who these people are. It's bullshit. So that's one of my ass whips today. All right, let's end the show. Fighting Wimbies tonight at Detroit. How about that? Playing them Pistons. Something has to give. We got Tweedle shit and Tweedle dumb tonight in Detroit, in the wasteland that is the 313. How many wins do the teams have total? The Spurs have won 5. What are the Pistons won 3? Shit. My boy Wemby's on a roll. So it's Wemby who's kicking ass. He and his team of pressure virgins have actually been competitive the last 2 games. They took Milwaukee down to the horn, got beat. Took Cleveland down to the horn, got beat. And they've been competitive here these last 2 games with Trey Jones in the starting lineup. Thank you very much. Thank you, Greg Popovich. Keep it up. Wemby's been amazing. He's been Jean-Claude Van Jam. Rock me. Thank you. I'm actually looking forward to the game tonight because we got 2 shitty teams going, and maybe the Wimbies will actually figure out a way to get a win. All right, maybe some of y'all have noticed that we have taken Mike Taylor off of the channel. Because I think some of y'all there for a while got a little confused. Like, what is Love You Hard? What's Mike Taylor? Love You Hard, help me out, Lawrence. Love You Hard is the channel. Mike Taylor Live is simply a show on Love You Hard. We've decided to make it easier for Thunderdomers. We're just going to roll with Love You Hard now, right?
Love You Hard TV is the YouTube channel.
Correct.
On which Mike Taylor Live now exists. Or has always existed.
Correct.
We just changed the name. The Mike Taylor YouTube channel is now the Love You Hard TV YouTube channel.
Right. Correct.
Your name has been removed from the marquee.
Right. Love You Hard is the marquee. My show is on Love You Hard.
Correct.
For layman's terms. So a lot of y'all were like, in case you haven't noticed, Love You Hard TV, we want to build that brand beyond my own little brand. We want Love You Hard to explode. We want Love You Hard TV to become TNT. That's our goal ultimately, so I can retire at some point. Sunburst Gymnastics Academy. I am not alone, but Cedar and Mold are actually physically whipping my ass. Yeah, a lot of this week. Whole bunch of that shit. People talking like this. Hey. Pull up to the Whataburger. I can help you. It's helping. So I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you, son. Got 99 problems, and pollen is certainly one, and we're done. Go, Wemby, go. Beat the Pistons. Thank you to Thunderdome. Thank you to DJ LG. We will see you boys in here for Fart Drop Thursday. But tomorrow is People I Want to Punch Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to get personal. That car dealership better take care of my kid. Don't make me drop names in public. It is People I Want to Punch Wednesday, mañana. Love you. Thank you for the subscriptions. Keep them coming. We don't want to stop now. We're on the road to 4,000. Namaste. Have a good day. Love you hard. Watch out for this shitty wind. Blow your nose. We'll see you mañana. Love you. Late.
Come back, you puppy!
Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.